Hey, good afternoon. It's a wonderful October afternoon. It's Columbus Day. Enjoying the day off with my kiddos, getting some stuff done around the house. I'm sitting on my newly stained deck. I finally got that project complete. Just put the furniture back up on here. And I mean, God is great. Just a beautiful sunny October day. Getting ready to just getting some stuff done around the house, enjoying the kiddos. Going to watch the Cardinals beat the Cubs tonight and enjoying life. And I was out here reading a little bit. I've been reading The Curious Mind. And The Curious Mind, this book was recommended by the CEO of Beachbody earlier this year. It's written by Brian Grazer, who is a famous Hollywood producer. Honestly, I've never heard of him until I read this book. However, he has produced A Beautiful Mind, Apollo 13, Splash, Arrested Development, 8 Mile, Empire, J. Edgar Hoover. The list goes on and on what he's been a part of. 24. And 149 Emmy Awards, 7 Academy Awards, one of Time's 100 most influential people. So just incredible. And he talks about curiosity and basically how that attribute, that characteristic of being curious has enabled his success in life. One thing it talks about in here is it talks about how you can strike up a conversation with people, especially if you're like an introvert. I am definitely an introvert. I don't go out of my way to strike up conversations with people or talk to people. I'm just not a chatty person. It's exhausting. For an introvert, it's exhausting to be around people. I can be around people in spurts, and I can be very open and be, just have a great time. But once it's time, once I'm done, I'm done. I have to go home and recharge. And most introverts are that way. So to go out, especially when I'm out by myself, like this weekend, I was up in Sullivan. I was timing a 5K. I had to stay the night because I had to mark the course the night before. And I went to Applebee's, so ate dinner by myself. Went to the bar. I normally would just probably just go in, eat, and just leave and not talk to anybody. But I was sitting next to a gentleman who was 60 years old, and I thought, hey, why not just strike up a conversation and just see where it goes, given the principles and the way to do that out of this book. So I started talking to him. He's about 60 years old, and it was actually a really interesting conversation. The gentleman was he was in Sullivan to close a deal to sell his business. He had a aeronautical turbine business. He's a repairman. I didn't even know Sullivan had an aeronautical turbine business there, but Fuji had just bought it for $30 million, so he was there to close the deal. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. He got started with this when he was 19 years old. He dropped out of high school, was working on race cars. He was very, very handy, very crafty. In North Carolina, NASCAR's huge out there. Everybody has a race car of some sort, but he was really good at that. So somebody from GE had hired him because they trained him on how to work on turbine engines. He was really good at that. He worked there for a few years. Would work 7 days a week, 12-hour day shifts on certain projects, then get laid off for a certain amount of time. They'd get another project, work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And that cycle kept on until he got just sick and tired of it. And he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. And he quit and basically went out and ultimately started his own business. America is great. So here's a gentleman who at 19 dropped out of high school and is now a multimillionaire. That's just incredible. He embodies, what the American spirit is. So the takeaway from this for me was that I probably wouldn't have engaged him in conversation. I got his business card, had a fantastic conversation, and I met somebody, another point of contact, somebody to network with. And the world works around how, if you need to get something done, networking is incredibly important. So if you're an introvert like me, I would highly recommend, picking up this book. And, I would recommend this book to anybody, not just introverts, but I found this interesting as an introvert and how to spark up and strike a conversation with somebody. So, that's my biggest takeaway is people like to talk about themselves. So it's very easy to have a conversation with somebody because all you have to do is ask them about themselves, and you'll be truly amazed at what you'll find out. I had another interesting conversation at Hoppers with another gentleman. Same thing. Typically wouldn't have talked to the person, but another very well-to-do individual. And knowledge is power. I don't know anything about aeronautical engineering, but I learned something, and now that's in the back of my mind, and who knows how that can possibly affect me. I met a contact. I have his business card. The world works in mysterious ways. But so that's my takeaway. Really like the book. I highly recommend it. Curious Mind by Brian Grazer. So have an amazing day. Go Cards, beat Cubs, and we'll see you later.